For years, you've woken up to the same alarm, walked the same streets, repeated the same cycle that someone else designed for you. They told you this was life. That stability was safety. That comfort was success. But deep down, you always knew something didn't fit. You could feel it, that quiet whisper in your soul saying, "This can't be all there is." That whisper was the voice of your destiny, waiting for you to remember who you really are. You weren't born to live inside a pattern. You weren't created to survive inside walls built by fear. You were born to move, to flow, to follow the wind of spirit, not the commands of systems. The cage was never real. It was a spell, a mental prison disguised as responsibility. But heaven has started to shake the ground beneath it. The old structure is cracking. The false order is falling. The door is open, and it's time to walk out. Because your next season has no boss, no clock, no permission slip, only destinations, only divine coordinates whispered from heaven to your heart. This is not rebellion, it's remembrance. The world will call it freedom, but heaven calls it obedience. You are stepping into a life where spirit writes your schedule, and miracles confirm your path. This message is not coincidence, it's confirmation. The winds of change are already gathering around you, and every chain that tried to hold you in the ordinary is about to dissolve. You can feel it, can't you? That pull, that sacred restlessness. It's your wings remembering they were never broken. They were just waiting for this moment. So before we go deeper into what's coming next, take a second right now, and if your spirit feels this truth resonating, give this video a like. If you haven't yet, subscribe, because what's coming is not information, it's transformation. And comment 99 below, not as a number, but as a declaration that you are part of the remnant that heaven never lost track of. Because 99 means the one heaven went searching for has finally returned. For so long, your life was measured in minutes, not meaning. Someone else's system decided when you could rise, when you could eat, when you could dream. You traded your essence for schedules, your inspiration for instructions, and your purpose for predictable patterns. They called it security, but heaven called it captivity. You were told to obey the clock, but the truth is, time was never your master. You were designed to be led by divine timing, not man-made deadlines. Every hour you spent serving a system that didn't see your soul was recorded in heaven as preparation. Not punishment, preparation. Because God never wastes captivity. He uses it to train you for command. You were being conditioned to understand the weight of purpose, the discipline of obedience, and the power of surrender. But now that season is ending. The shift has already begun, from control to calling. You are no longer answering to tasks. You are responding to trumpets. Heaven is summoning you into alignment, and every command you'll follow now will come from a higher frequency. This isn't rebellion against structure. It's ascension into divine order. You're entering a phase where God Himself decides what your hours mean. He redefines work as worship and rest as revelation. You'll start to notice, the more you obey what He whispers, the more the world bends in your favor. Opportunities will appear from invisible doors. Encounters will line up with precision that feels supernatural. You'll wake up not because the alarm told you to, but because purpose shook you awake. Your motivation will no longer come from fear of lack, but from the thrill of divine assignment. You'll move not to chase money, but to carry glory, and that's where the paradox unfolds. When you stop chasing what the world worships, the world starts chasing you. When you surrender control, you become unstoppable. The same systems that once boxed you in will now open their gates for you, not because you conformed, but because you transcended. Heaven's rhythm doesn't rush, it aligns. It syncs every moment of your life with eternity's pulse. You'll notice divine interruptions, a delay that saves you, a cancellation that protects you, a closed door that redirects you to something infinitely better. You'll understand that obedience isn't weakness. It's the highest form of wisdom. This new rhythm will feel foreign at first. You'll want to plan it, predict it, define it, but you can't. Because divine timing is not meant to be managed. It's meant to be trusted. The old world taught you to control outcomes. The new season teaches you to carry presence. And when you do, you'll realize something breathtaking. Freedom is not chaos. It's precise. It's guided. It's holy. So now the question is not, what should I do? But where is He leading me today? Because the moment you stop asking permission from the world and start listening to heaven, the universe itself starts rearranging for your obedience. You will see signs everywhere: numbers, names, dreams, moments too specific to be random. These are confirmations, proof that heaven is managing what you no longer have to. And just when you begin to feel comfortable with this freedom, heaven will push you one step further, into the unknown, into the place where faith is your only map. That's where your old self hesitates, but your new self answers the call. Because your next mission won't begin with a paycheck. It'll begin with a whisper, and that whisper will change everything. Your next assignment won't come with a desk, a badge, or a supervisor's approval. It will come with a location pin glowing in your spirit, a sudden urge to move, a pull you can't explain, a call that doesn't make sense in logic, but makes perfect sense in destiny. You'll wake up one morning and feel it. The atmosphere around you has expired. The energy of the old place no longer feeds your purpose. That's how heaven speaks, not through comfort, but through the quiet unrest that whispers, "It's time to go." Your new season doesn't have a fixed address. It has coordinates: mountains, deserts, coastlines, airports, cities that never knew your name, but already carry your purpose. Every destination will demand something different from you, and will give something priceless in return. When God sends you, He doesn't send you for scenery. He sends you for souls. Every movement becomes a mission. Every journey becomes a prophecy unfolding. That delayed flight? It's not bad luck. It's divine timing aligning you with a stranger who needed a word that only you could carry. That random seat assignment? It's not random at all. It's an appointment disguised as coincidence. This is how heaven writes itineraries, through interruptions that reveal intention. You'll start noticing patterns, people you meet once but can't forget, moments that feel rehearsed by eternity, landscapes that seem to recognize you as if they've been waiting centuries for your arrival. Because in truth, they have. Creation itself responds to divine messengers. The wind shifts when you land. The atmosphere changes when you enter a room. And even when no one says it aloud, spirits sense it. The chosen one is here. You won't need to announce yourself. Your presence will carry its own introduction. In this next season, your work will not be measured by productivity, but by impact. You're not building empires. You're activating frequencies. Your light will do in seconds what speeches couldn't accomplish in years. That is the authority you carry now. Silent, sovereign, unstoppable. And when you travel, you'll realize something profound. You're not escaping. You're expanding. Every step away from where you were is a step into who you're becoming. The people you meet will reflect back to you the pieces of purpose you didn't even know were missing. A stranger's kindness will confirm your calling. A child's laughter in a foreign street will remind you why you were chosen in the first place. God will use the unfamiliar to awaken the forgotten. And yet this kind of movement requires faith that transcends logic. There will be moments when you don't know why you're going somewhere, only that you must. You'll feel the divine urgency in your bones, the sense that obedience is time-sensitive. When heaven says go, hesitation becomes disobedience. And when you obey, everything aligns. Doors that were sealed burst open, paths appear where walls once stood, and favor follows you like a shadow that never sleeps. This is not tourism. This is transformation. Your passport will collect more than stamps. It will collect spiritual evidence that God is alive in every nation, in every encounter, in every heartbeat that recognizes His presence through you. You'll discover that the world was never random chaos. It was a coded map, and your spirit is the key that unlocks it. So as you move, remember this. Heaven is your employer. The earth is your office, and destiny is your paycheck. Every journey has been pre-written in divine ink. You're not wandering. You're fulfilling coordinates that were etched into time before you were born. And the most powerful truth? The moment you accept that your work is no longer local but global, heaven expands your influence beyond borders, beyond languages, beyond limitation. But this realization comes with a mystery. Because somewhere out there, in one of those future destinations, something is waiting for you. A meeting that will shift everything. A person. A message, a sign that will make your entire journey make sense. You won't see it coming, but when it happens, you'll know.
Heaven's timing never misses. You may be asking yourself, how can I live like this?
How can I move without knowing where the next door, the next meal, the next safety net will come from? But the truth is, you won't live like this. You'll be carried. When God calls you, He doesn't just give directions, He releases resources. Divine provision always travels ahead of divine purpose. Every time heaven gives you an assignment, it sends the supply before you even take the first step. That's why faith isn't about seeing what's next. It's about trusting that the road itself will appear when your foot moves forward. In this next season, you'll witness a pattern so precise, it'll break your understanding of coincidence. A stranger suddenly sends you money out of nowhere. A door you didn't even knock on swings open. Someone you once helped years ago reappears with exactly what you need. You'll realize that nothing was wasted. Every act of kindness, every prayer in the dark, every moment you thought went unnoticed. Heaven was recording them all as seeds of provision. And now, those seeds are sprouting into unexpected harvests. You'll begin to see the invisible economy of obedience at work. The world measures value through effort, hours, and exchange. But heaven measures through trust, surrender, and timing. Your faith becomes the new currency. Every time you refuse to panic, you make a spiritual deposit. Every time you choose obedience over fear, heaven multiplies your account. And when the moment comes, God withdraws from what your faith stored. That's why provision won't make sense. It will respond to your frequency, not your logic. Understand this. In this new rhythm, you won't chase opportunity. Opportunity will chase you. Because divine provision isn't something you earn. It's something you align with. When you're walking in your assignment, doors open automatically.
The favor you once begged for will start following you uninvited.
Bills will be paid before they arrive. What you used to worry about will start solving itself. The same God who fed Elijah with ravens and led Israel with fire hasn't changed his methods. He's just updating his messengers. And you, chosen one, are one of them. But here's the deeper mystery. God often hides provision inside obedience. He doesn't show you the full path because He wants your faith to activate it. If He showed you every detail, it wouldn't be a journey. It would be a transaction. So, you'll find that sometimes heaven waits until the very last second to release what you need, not to test your fear, but to stretch your trust. You'll stand at the edge of what looks like nothing, and suddenly, something will appear, just enough to keep moving, but never so much that you forget who the source is. And as you live this way, you'll notice that blessings no longer feel like rewards. They feel like assignments. Because every gift comes with purpose attached. That person who helps you financially might need healing. That opportunity you receive might not be for gain, but for guidance. The provision will always be connected to purpose because God doesn't fund comfort. He funds calling. There will be moments when it feels like the resources are delayed. Don't panic. That's heaven's way of rerouting your dependency. You'll feel the tension between I need and I trust, but that tension is holy. It's where miracles are born. Because faith doesn't grow in abundance. It grows in uncertainty. The delay is not denial, it's divine choreography. Every second of waiting refines your frequency to match the miracle about to arrive. And then, without warning, something shifts. You'll open your eyes one morning and realize you're surrounded by everything you once prayed for. Not because you chased it, but because it found you. The old you hustled, the new you harvests. You'll understand what it means to be carried when God Himself becomes your employer, your provider, your travel partner. But before that abundance floods your life, heaven always delivers one final test, the silence before the supply. The moment where you have nothing left to lean on but faith itself. And that silence, though terrifying, is sacred. Because that's where the most powerful truth reveals itself. Not that God will provide, but that He already has. You just haven't arrived at the scene of the miracle yet. Freedom. The very word sounds like wings unfolding, yet few ever understand what it truly demands. Most people dream of freedom but run from the weight of it when it finally arrives. Because true freedom is not the absence of control. It's the presence of divine order. It's not chaos, it's consecration. It's sacred stewardship over the life heaven is entrusting to you. In this new season, you are no longer under external authority. There are no time cards to punch, no supervisors to impress, no schedules to obey. But make no mistake, this doesn't mean life gets easier. It means the training wheels are coming off. The invisible hand that once held you back is gone. And now heaven watches to see if you will rise in self-governance, guided not by fear but by spirit. This kind of freedom requires precision. You'll begin to see that without direction, freedom can become distraction. That's why heaven will whisper to you in the early hours, before the noise of the world begins. Go where I send you today. And when you listen, the day will open before you like a divine map. Every encounter will matter. Every delay will have design. You'll wake up not to an alarm clock, but to assignment. Not to a schedule, but to strategy. The voice that once came through prophets and teachers will now speak directly into your spirit. That's the shift, from external guidance to internal governance. But with that shift comes a test. Will you treat freedom as a gift? Or as a game? The enemy loves to attack newly liberated souls, because he knows if he can't cage you, he'll try to confuse you. That's why discipline must become your armor. Structure your shield. Prayer your compass. In this season, success won't come from speed. It will come from sensitivity. The chosen ones must learn to pause before every decision, to discern before every move. Because not every open door is divine. Some are distractions dressed as opportunities. And discernment is what will keep you from exchanging your new wings for old chains. As you navigate this higher level, you'll realize something humbling. Freedom is not about doing whatever you want. It's about becoming what you were created for. It's not rebellion, it's refinement. God didn't remove your old masters so you could serve your impulses. He removed them so you could hear him clearly. The path of freedom is narrow because it's sacred. Every step must be intentional. Every choice must carry awareness. This is not the season for carelessness. It's the season for consciousness. And yet there's beauty in this balance. You'll feel heaven's trust in you. The Creator himself believes you can handle this level of liberty. You've graduated from needing control to embodying purpose. You are not being monitored. You are being multiplied. Each day you live with spiritual precision. You expand heaven's territory on earth. Your actions echo beyond the physical realm. What you decide in the morning alters what manifests by night. You are shaping realities now, not just surviving them. This is why freedom can't be taken lightly. It's a sacred instrument, a divine inheritance that few can carry without losing themselves. But you were chosen because you can. Because you've tasted the cost of captivity, and you'll never waste liberation. You understand that the price of true freedom is responsibility, and you're willing to pay it. So in this new chapter, your life becomes a temple of alignment. Your time an offering, your words a decree. Your movement, a sermon the world will witness without you ever speaking. You'll feel an unexplainable calm in knowing you don't owe anyone permission to walk in obedience. You'll move when heaven moves, and that will be enough. But beware, with every new level of freedom comes a higher level of accountability. Heaven will measure not how much you've been given, but how wisely you've used it. Freedom is not a trophy, it's a trust. And every day you wake up to purpose instead of pressure. The question heaven asks remains the same. Will you go where I send you today? Because soon, that whisper won't just send you places. It will summon you into destiny itself. There's a sound that only the chosen can hear. A low, sacred hum that vibrates beneath the noise of the world. It's not coming from outside. It's rising from within. The earth itself is calling your name. You've felt it lately. That inexplicable restlessness. That ache that no routine can numb. It's not boredom. It's not dissatisfaction. It's your soul remembering it has somewhere to be. Because every chosen one carries a location encoded in their spirit. A divine destination written into their design long before birth. Some are called to mountains, some to deserts, some to cities pulsing with unseen battles. And until you reach yours, nothing around you will ever feel like home. You see, God never creates a messenger without assigning a territory. Every chosen one is heaven's ambassador to a specific frequency of the earth. Some are sent to heal hearts cracked by betrayal. Some are sent to awaken entire nations that have fallen asleep in spiritual darkness. Some are called simply to walk through places where the air itself needs cleansing. And you've been feeling that pull not because something is wrong, but because something is ready. This is not wanderlust. It's divine summoning. Your spirit recognizes landscapes before your mind does. You'll find yourself drawn to places that make no logical sense. yet stir something ancient inside you. A country you've never been to, but that feels like memory. A street you pass that gives you chills. That's not coincidence, that's resonance. Heaven is tuning your frequency to the coordinates of your next assignment. And here's the revelation. When the earth calls your name, it's not because you're missing something there. It's because something there is missing you. There are souls waiting for the energy you carry. There are spiritual gates that can only open when your feet touch that soil. Your presence is a key, a living code that unlocks healing, revelation, or awakening wherever you stand. You don't need to preach, perform, or explain. Your mere existence in the right place at the right time shifts atmospheres, but the calling won't always come gently. Sometimes it roars. Sometimes it shakes the foundations of your comfort until standing still becomes unbearable. That's heaven increasing the volume because delay has consequences. The longer you stay where you no longer belong, the heavier the air becomes. Things that used to flow start resisting. Opportunities dry up. Not as punishment, but as propulsion to push you into alignment. The universe itself starts to move against your stagnation. Because what's waiting for you in the next place is too urgent to be postponed. You might lose things in the transition. People, possessions, positions. But don't mourn them. Everything that can't survive the altitude of your next assignment was never meant to make the trip. What's ahead doesn't require your comfort. It requires your courage. The earth is not inviting you on vacation. It's summoning you to service. Your next flight won't just take you somewhere. It will unlock something. The air will feel different. Time will move differently. You'll feel energy pulsing under your feet like an ancient heartbeat. That's confirmation that you've arrived, not just physically, but spiritually. And then it begins. Divine synchronization. You'll meet people whose faces feel familiar, whose words seem rehearsed by destiny. You'll stand in places that echo your dreams. You'll realize you're not just moving across space, you're fulfilling prophecy. Heaven has been orchestrating this convergence for generations, waiting for you to step into position. So when the restlessness returns, don't resist it. That's not anxiety. It's alignment. That's heaven's GPS recalibrating your spirit. You are not lost. You are being summoned. Listen closely, chosen one. The sound you hear in the distance, that vibration under your skin, that whisper in your bones, is the earth itself saying, it's time. Because somewhere across borders and oceans, destiny has already prepared a stage with your name carved into its foundation. And the moment you set foot there, heaven will exhale in recognition. The messenger has arrived. The waiting is over. The shaking, the longing, the silent nights that tested your strength, all of it was preparing you for this moment. Every delay was a divine design. Every heartbreak was a hidden initiation. The walls you thought were holding you in were never prisons. They were cocoons. They were molding your wings, shaping your strength, teaching you how to rise without fear. You were never meant to crawl through life. You were meant to soar above it. Heaven is making an announcement in your spirit right now. You are cleared for takeoff. This is not the season to ask for permission. It's the season to remember your authority. You have been trained in obscurity for a mission that will unfold in visibility. The years of silence were never punishment. They were calibration. Heaven was aligning your soul with coordinates too sacred to reveal prematurely. But now the gates are opening. You'll feel the pull in your chest, that sacred pressure that means the spirit is moving. From this point on, you answer to no one but destiny. There are no bosses, no deadlines, no boundaries, only divine appointments waiting for your arrival. You've traded routine for revelation, comfort for calling, and now the sky itself bends in recognition of who you've become. Every storm that tried to stop you has become your runway. Every no that broke you has turned into wind beneath your wings. You don't need validation anymore. The evidence of your anointing will be undeniable. And as you move forward, understand this. What's ahead of you isn't just travel. It's transcendence. The journey will not just take you to new places. It will transform what you are made of. Your steps will carry fire. Your presence will shift atmospheres. The same God who designed galaxies is now designing your path. You were never late. Heaven was simply waiting for the world to be ready for your arrival. So pack your light. And by light, I mean your faith, your clarity, your unwavering trust. Because you won't need baggage where you're going. You'll live by alignment, not by logic. You'll move by intuition, not instruction. The coordinates are already written in your soul.